disorders. This topic explains how changes in DNA can affect genes, chromosomes, proteins, and traits. The big idea is, mutations are changes in genetic material, and while some mutations are harmless, others can cause genetic disorders. First concept, mutations. A mutation is a change in DNA sequence. Remember, DNA stores instructions for proteins. If the DNA sequence changes, the protein may change too. Some mutations have no effect, can be harmful, can sometimes be beneficial. Mutations are important because they create genetic variation in populations. Without mutations, evolution would not happen. Mini summary. Mutations are changes in DNA that can affect proteins and traits. Q&A. What is a mutation? A change in the DNA sequence. Why are mutations important? They create genetic variation. Can mutations be harmful? Yes. Can mutations be beneficial? Yes. Can mutations have no effect? Yes. Next concept, are mutations random? Organisms do not choose mutations. Mutations occur randomly. Cells cannot intentionally create helpful mutations because they need them. Natural selection happens after mutations occur. For example, a mutation may accidentally help survival. Organisms with that mutation survive better. The mutation becomes more common over time. Mini summary. Mutations happen randomly, not because organisms choose them. Q&A, are mutations random? Yes. Can organisms choose mutations? No. Does the environment choose specific mutations? No, mutations occur randomly. What happens if a mutation is helpful? Natural selection may increase it in the population. Next concept, causes of mutations. Mutations can happen naturally during DNA replication. Sometimes mistakes occur when DNA copies itself. Mutations can also be caused by mutagens. Mutagens are things that damage DNA. Examples: radiation, UV light from the sun, cigarette smoke, chemicals, certain viruses. Mini summary. Mutations can happen naturally or be caused by environmental mutagens. Q&A. What are mutagens? Things that damage DNA and increase mutations. What are examples of mutagens? Radiation, UV light, chemicals, and cigarette smoke. Can mutations happen naturally? Yes, during DNA replication. How can UV light cause mutations? By damaging DNA. Next concept, gene mutations. A gene mutation affects one gene or a small DNA sequence. Types include substitution, insertion, deletion, substitution. One base is replaced by another. Example, A becomes G, insertion. Extra bases are added. Deletion, bases are removed. Insertions and deletions can shift the reading frame of DNA, causing major protein changes. This is called a frame shift mutation. Mini summary. Gene mutations change small DNA sequences and can alter proteins. Q&A. What is a gene mutation? A mutation affecting one gene or small DNA sequence. What is a substitution mutation? One DNA base is replaced by another. What is an insertion mutation? Extra DNA bases are added. What is a deletion mutation? DNA bases are removed. What is a frame shift mutation? A mutation that shifts the reading frame of DNA. Why are frame shift mutations serious? They can drastically change proteins. Next concept, chromosome mutations. Chromosome mutations affect large sections of chromosomes. Instead of changing one base, entire chromosome pieces may change. Types include deletion, duplication, inversion, translocation, deletion, a chromosome section is lost. Duplication, a section is copied twice. Inversion, a section flips backward. Translocation, a chromosome piece attaches to another chromosome. Chromosome mutations usually affect many genes and can cause major disorders. Mini summary. Chromosome mutations affect large chromosome sections and often impact many genes. Q&A. What is a chromosome mutation? A mutation affecting large chromosome sections. What happens in a chromosome? Deletion. Part of the chromosome is lost. What happens in duplication? Part of the chromosome is copied twice. What happens in inversion? A chromosome section flips around. What happens in translocation? A chromosome piece moves to another chromosome. Why are chromosome mutations often serious? Because many genes may be affected. Next concept, genetic disorders. Genetic disorders are diseases caused by mutations. Some are inherited, while others happen spontaneously. Categories include autosomal disorders, dominant disorders, recessive disorders, sex-linked disorders. Mini summary. Genetic disorders result from mutations affecting genes or chromosomes. Q&A. What is a genetic disorder? A disease caused by mutations in genes or chromosomes. Can genetic disorders be inherited? Yes. Can genetic disorders happen spontaneously? Yes. Next concept, autosomal disorders. Autosomal disorders involve chromosomes that are not sex chromosomes. Humans have 22 pairs of autosomes, 1 pair of sex chromosomes. Examples, cystic fibrosis, Huntington's disease. Autosomal disorders can be dominant or recessive. Mini summary. Autosomal disorders affect non-sex chromosomes. Q&A. What are autosomal disorders? Disorders involving non-sex chromosomes. How many pairs of autosomes do humans have? 22 pairs. Next concept, dominant and recessive disorders. Dominant disorders require only one mutated allele. Examples, Huntington's disease. Recessive disorders require 2 mutated alleles. Examples, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell disease. People with one recessive allele are called carriers. Carriers usually do not show the disorder but can pass it on. Mini summary. Dominant disorders need 1 mutated allele. Recessive disorders need 2. Q&A. What is a dominant disorder? A disorder expressed with 1 mutated allele. What is a recessive disorder? A disorder requiring 2 mutated alleles. What is a carrier? A person with 1 recessive disorder allele who does not show the disorder. Can carriers pass disorders to offspring? Yes. Do carriers usually show recessive disorders? No. What is an example of a dominant disorder? Huntington's disease. What is an example of a recessive disorder? Cystic fibrosis. Next concept, sex-linked disorders. Sex-linked disorders are usually located on the X chromosome. Examples, hemophilia, color blindness. Males are more likely to express these disorders because they only have 1 X chromosome. Females have 2 X chromosomes, which can mask recessive alleles. Mini summary. Sex-linked disorders are usually X-linked and affect males more often. Q&A. What are sex-linked disorders? Disorders caused by genes on sex chromosomes. Where are most sex-linked disorders located? On the X chromosome. Why are males more likely to inherit sex-linked disorders? Because they only have 1 X chromosome. What are examples of sex-linked disorders? Hemophilia and color blindness. Final summary of the entire topic. Mutations are random changes in DNA that create genetic variation. They may occur naturally or from mutagens like radiation and chemicals. Gene mutations affect small DNA sequences, while chromosome mutations affect large chromosome sections. Mutations can cause genetic disorders that may be dominant, recessive, autosomal, or sex-linked. Carriers can pass recessive disorders without showing symptoms themselves.